Hello everybody, the Lawnmower Detective here, and today I'm going to be bringing something to your attention that is near and dear to my heart. It is the Officer Down Memorial page, as you can see there, more commonly known as the ODMP. You can find ODMP, the Officer Down Memorial, on various social media platforms. Just search for them and you'll be able to find them. So stay tuned and we'll learn a lot about Officer Down Memorial page together. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this is the Officer Down Memorial page that I was referring to, and it's self-explanatory. You can see all the officers here. This is a good quote. When a police officer is killed, it's not an agency that loses an officer, it's an entire nation. And then you can see some of the values here. 31 line of duty deaths so far this year. Staggering numbers if you really want to add these things up. So as we go along here, you'll see that here's the subscribe section to ODMP. You can also go through and search by states, and obviously if the state's blank, then there hasn't been anything in there as of yet. These two gentlemen were killed here in Indiana just the other day in pursuit. They were riding together, and obviously they didn't make it through the crash. Here's another page here for no parole for cop killers, and here's the decal you can get if you want to support ODMP, and another page, Law Enforcement United. And we're going to be discussing these partners here in length in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Here's another page you can go to. It's ODMP K9 for the recently fallen canines across the country. You know, they're just as important as the human officers are, if not more sometimes, because they really risk their lives. And here are some fatality statistics for the year of 2022 so far. But feel free to go to ODMP and browse and learn as much as you can. Here's a club you can join here. If you become a donating member, you know, you'll obviously get all the swag that is associated with that. So just in mind, this is a store you can go to. A lot of the proceeds go to fallen officers' families and other officers and things of that nature. So we're going to be covering a few more things here in a little bit, so thank you for being here. Okay, in this section we're going to be discussing the partners of ODMP. The first one is COPS. It's an acronym, and it stands for Concerns of Police Survivors. And basically what COPS does, it focuses on the spouses and the children of officers killed in the line of duty. They support them greatly. It's just amazing the things that they do. You know, if you can imagine yourself being a child of a fallen officer, and in years past, you know, not so long ago, you know, I could imagine that you would just feel lost without the support of organizations like this. The next one is Law Enforcement United. Basically what that is, they are a 100% volunteer-driven organization of law enforcement officers, survivors, and civilian supporters who have made it their mission to honor the fallen and remember the survivors. Again, that word, survivors. So, and the next one is Below 100. I think that goes without explanation, but it's an organization that's trying to keep the line of duty deaths below 100 each year. I would like to see 0, but there are other factors involved as far as when it comes to law enforcement deaths. You've got traffic, you've got health issues, and worst of all, you know, you've got suicide, which we'll talk about at the end here. So go over there and make sure you check out Below 100 as well. And another one is the IACP, that is the International Association of Chiefs of Police, shaping the future of policing profession. And what they do, they get together every year and they really hash some stuff out, man, and just trying to make law enforcement agencies safer all around for all the officers involved. The next one I'd like to talk about is the St. Michael Shield Project. So basically what this is, it's a nonprofit organization that is a Christian-based organization. They are a 501c3 nonprofit ministry dedicated to reaching the first responder community in the service of Jesus Christ. So what they do is they raise money and to donate vests for police officers. And when I say vest, I mean bulletproof vests. So it's a great thing because, with budgetary issues out there in most departments across the country nowadays, that, there are police officers out there. I, for one, up until a few years ago, had an expired vest. So there are a lot of officers out there walking around the streets with expired vests on. So we need to put a stop to that. And then there is the Stanton Foundation. That is an awesome foundation. And they give out $10,000 grants to departments that have had a fallen canine. So they call it the Fallen Canine Replacement Grant. So basically, if you are in a department and you lose a canine for whatever reason, you can apply for one of these grants up to $10,000 to replace your canine and a bulletproof vest for that canine as well. And again, that's just a drop in the bucket. So I suggest some of you, all of you actually, check with your local law enforcement agencies to see if they have canines. And you can donate food and stuff like that for the canines, because it's very costly to keep these fur missiles maintained. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to talk about suicide. Suicide among police officers is on the rise, unfortunately. As of right now, we have 17 officers that were reported, 17 officers that have committed suicide this year so far. And it's only, as you see there's a web page you can go to. It's bluehelp.org. They are offering comfort and honor to the families who have lost an officer to suicide. And they try to maintain the credibility of the thin blue line. All officers, regardless of method of death, deserve thanks, and all the families deserve your support. So in the next few minutes here, we're going to talk about some resources for suicide. So if you're feeling like you want to harm yourself, please feel free to contact one of these resources, and I'm sure someone will be glad to help you. Okay, so let's cover some of these helplines for law enforcement and their families, of course. The first one being Copline. And you can contact them at 1-800-267-5463. Again, that's 1-800-267-5463. I posted that right in the middle of the page because I felt like that number was a little hard to read at the top there. So if you feel like you're going to harm yourself or you just need to talk to somebody, you go ahead and make sure you call this number or any of these numbers on the screen here. The next one is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And you can reach them at 1-800-273-TALK. Again, that's 1-800-273-TALK. The next one is the Veterans Crisis Line, and they can be reached at 1-800-273-8255 and press 1. Again, that is 1-800-273-8255 and be sure to press 1. Now, this last one is a group of cops that are volunteering their time to listen to fellow cops if you need to call. So that is Cop to Cop. You can reach them at 1-866-COP-2-COP. Again, that is 1-866-COP-2-COP. 1-866-COP-2-COP. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in law enforcement and you are within the sound of my voice and you feel like you are going to hurt yourself, or you feel like you're at the end of your rope and you have no other choices, believe me, you have all kinds of choices. There are a lot of resources out there. I know it's hard for officers to put their shield down and step out and say, you know what, I need help. But just remember that even heroes need help sometimes. So let that sink in. And I thank you all for being here. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for you all being here and listening to me and checking out these web pages, and just see what you can do to support your local law enforcement. If you have it in your heart to serve others and you want to get with your local law enforcement agencies, whether it be a sheriff's department, city, town, whatever, departments across this country need your help. So if you want to become a reserve officer or just volunteer to help out, just go in and ask, hey, what can I do? And I'm sure they'd be happy to help you, and they'd definitely be happy to have your help. So with that being said, you all have a great day. Take care of each other. And don't forget, it is donut time.